Hey folks, I've got the Molo team together again on Vaniki. I'm trying to see how many of the server achievements can be done with just a team of 3 plus 3 mercenaries. I've got an enchanter, a mage, and a cleric, along with a tank, melee DPS, and cleric merc. That's going to be the team I'll use. How Vaniki works is that there are rewards for doing certain bosses while underleveled, and you can claim those on other servers. It's mostly toys like low-level clickies or illusions. I'm here for the challenge though, as EQ is a bit easy these days with all the power creep. Today we're going to do another part of Defeat the Classic 3, namely Lord Nagafen. I've previously done Finnegal with this crew. The reward for doing all 3 of those is an in-game title, and I believe you can claim that 999 times. Right, so let's head on over to Lava Storm, grab the DZ, and get to it. When you zone into this DZ, you're already near the encounter, so you don't need to mess with running through the C-Invis bats or the lava duck crawlers, which is pretty nice. You just need to clear the fire giants on the way to him. This first pull should be 2 or 3. Let's see how the mercs do with it. Looks like only the roamer plus one of the 2 that are behind that gate aggroed. There go the mercs. I've set the tank as main tank for the group, so he'll hopefully grab everything. Looks like they're having a pretty easy time of it. I wanted to check if slow would land on them, as I wasn't having much luck on casting on Finn guards when I tried Mez there. I did get some luck here, but later on there were a few that resisted me. Okay, that seems pretty trivial, so let's zip ahead to the room before Naggy's lair after I've cleared the rest of the fire giants. There's usually 4 in that room, plus a roamer. Well, I didn't really feel like waiting for that roamer to go away, or have a way to split it, so let's just charge the room with this and see what happens. It took a bit for the merc to pick everything up, but it was still not having any problems with tanking 5 of them here, and the damage shield was doing quite a bit of work over time. Eventually all that died and we're ready for the boss. There's 2 trash mobs in the room with him, plus a named, so 4 total. Nagafen itself casts a fire-based sphere that also dispels 1 slot, which you can avoid by line of sight. Since I have no way with this group to split the mobs, what I'm going to do is send in a low-level mage pet on one of the trash mobs near the door using the /tar command to grab it on my target window and run back here. You'll want to set the mage as puller so your mercs don't prematurely charge if you do it this way. It may be at level 40 everything aggroes anyways, but if you're doing this in an OMM mission at level 50, sometimes you'll get just the 2 at the door depending on where the boss and Magus are in the lair. So there you can see the pet ran in on the one I targeted. I'm just going to hightail it back to camp and we'll see what comes along with me. All 4 I mentioned have now aggroed, so that didn't work and we're just doing it live. Now, the main thing I want to do with the pull is make sure I can get it somewhere where you can stay out of line of sight on all of the characters. The reason I've chosen the spot I did is for a couple of reasons. First, it's far enough away that they tend to separate a bit, as Naggy usually takes a while longer to get to you. Second, there's 2 line of sights I can use. I was worried about him fearing the mercs, causing him to chase them on top of me and then AEing my own tunes. Well, here, because he has a pretty big hitbox, he'll tend to stay behind the corner up there, and then even if he does move forward past it, you can stand where I am now, and you'll be below him and still out of line of sight. The tank merc still seems to have no real problem dealing with everything here. I'm going to kill off all the ads first. I think Naggy might have been wall tanking himself a bit for at least some of the fight. If you're not too familiar with Classic, what happens is that his AE seems to emanate directly from his head. So if he's attacking through a corner where his head is kind of in the corner, it'll make the AE go off less. Maybe the mercs were just resisting it a lot, but it didn't seem like they got feared that much. After a bit of doing, I finally got him down. You can see he did eventually move past that first corner, but I was still out of line of sight using this ramp, so the AE didn't hit me. If you run this, I definitely recommend using this spot or another where you can have a backup for line of sighting him, as I think probably the main way you could lose is if you got feared a ways away and caused the mercs to warp. And if we look at the achievement screen, you can see I've now got a second part checked off. I'll do Lady Vox next time to finish it off. I think that fight might be a bit spicier, as there's a lot of stuff in her lair that I can't split out, but we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Just checking the loot, Vaniki is really nice because of the double loot, so there's a lot of stuff in here. Blade Stopper would be quite nice on Oakwind. You can use that to unlock mobs, as Rune is one of the best aggro tools in the game. Otherwise, just a Cloak of Flames. I'll snag that for tribute at some point. Alright, that's it for today. Good luck out there.